Greetings, geeks and nerds from the universe and white and nerdy, and if you can't tell by my big booby sweater, yes, I am indeed talking about hentai today. I'm just screwing with you, even though the series is rated TVMA. But they talked about one of my favorite eras of history, World War II era history, which I'm actually a big fan of. Did you know that in World War II we had an elite team of flying, I suppose, teenagers that go around and protect the world, and they do not wear pants, but instead they basically wear either shorts or panties, and they fly around using high-tech material that was brought to us in the late of the Howard Hughes. I'm just kidding with you. I'm instead talking about an anime today that is kind of weird and obscure, and is only known as Strike Witches. Yes, Strike Witches, because with Strike Witches, it's a very weird and obscure anime series, with an alien invasion happening in 1939 with people dependent on witches. But in despite of this, Strike Witches is actually a pretty damn good decent anime. And yeah, I took a bet with it and thought, yeah, it might be nothing special. But much to my surprise, Strike Witches was actually pretty damn decent. It's a really damn good, decent, and well held together anime for what it's worth. Even the cast of characters, as small that it is actually pretty damn decent. It's a cast of basically like 10 girls that are all united together for a unique cause, and the premise on the back of it sounded weird, especially when the main tagline and the premise at the back of the Blu-ray and DVD is the war on pants. And that's the weirdest tagline that you can give me. And yes, it is rated TV mature because there is some scenes of them being naked. I can't show that because of YouTube standards, but yeah, there is a few episodes where they are actually naked. And in case you think that Yuri on Ice would have the gay and homosexual kind of sexuality going on, you haven't really seen Strike Witches because the lesbian tendencies that goes on between these girls is a lot what you would think is great. But there are some things that I dislike about it. For one thing, the alien is not, or aliens, is not really a good threat. I think that they probably took some inspiration from H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds that came out in 1953, which is still considered one of the best sci-fi films ever made. And that's kind of where I have to nitpick in some of the episode stories, which I'll get to my favorite ones later. That the episodes is not, or some of them are not quite good. In a sense, like some of the episodes are kind of boring, but there are some that are greatly written. And I'm sad to say that this episode series is only, excuse me while we look here, because I forget, it's only 12 episodes long. So half of the episodes are like pretty damn decent, and half of the episodes are not. So to fight with Blood Lad, it shares the honorable discharge, I suppose, for an army pun that this series is not as great, or did not last as long as Blood Lad did, but is the ending rushed? Honestly, no. By shock and surprise, no. Every episode feels complete and nothing feels too rushed or too out of the ordinary like some other episodes are. These episodes share a complex story, with every character getting their main part of the play of the whole entire story, which honestly is the better part of it. And I do mean that a lot of the episodes are actually greatly written, some of them being better than others, and some of them having more character impact on them than the rest of the series. Yes, this anime is only 12 episodes long, and I did say series, but my point still stands that even as a one season anime, it still is technically a series. And Strike Witches has a most unique team. It's sort of like uniting a team like in Power Rangers or for like superhero wise. Every single teammate has a specific reason why they're on this team. I'm not going to go into great detail about every single character because, well, I'd be here pretty much all day if I went down through the list of every single character that this anime had spotlighted, and compared to something like Dragon Ball or Cowboy Bebop, or even like Outlaw Star Samurai Champloo, where they kind of are dealing with a small cast of characters, this one uses basically, like I said, 10 girls, and yeah, not including side characters, 10 girls just to break down into like a minute or 2 minutes per person is still a ridiculous amount of time. But let me just tell you again that these are some of the best damn written episodes. With this plot that goes forward, with that we wonder why the aliens are here, we wonder why these girls are fighting the good fight like they are, they're part of a top secret organization, and basically they're just out there saving the world. There is honestly a good reason that has to do with the invention of why they don't wear pants, but it's a long it's a long story. But basically, the legs or leggings that they wear are super powered, like jet powered engines, and this was a thing that was happening during World War II, specifically with inventor Howard Hughes, that was helping out during the war effort. Except this almost goes into the territory of what if Howard Hughes was crazier than usual and he had an elite team of women that had on the jet propelled legs and then went into war. But they're also magical witches. You see how strange of a concept that it seems? But what's great about it is that the team behind it, the animation team and also the writers and everything, seem to treat it with such respect, especially for the time period of 1944. They treat it with so much respect that honestly it comes off almost like a history lesson, which is a good thing because I like films like Saving Private Ryan or Good Morning Vietnam, which have to do with a similar plot that of that time period, and it feels so refreshing to see even an anime share in that awesome time period. All these characters are cute and refreshing. They bring something new to the table that's never been seen before, which honestly, for all these characters, feels quite wonderful. But you get to kind of grow up with these girls, get to know them over 12 episodes, and honestly, a lot of them became some of my favorites because of how much that I could relate to some of them. And even, yes, in case you don't believe me about the lesbian tendency, the main character is like me and likes women with big bouncing jibbly jubbly boobies. What? Don't look at me like that. You would think that a person who owns a Rangiku Matsumoto poster and also a sweatshirt would not be obsessed into big bouncing jubbly boobies. Then you are seemingly mistaken. Yes, the main character is honestly the female, like a female counterpart of me. That she protects those that she loves, like I do. She trying to do her best to stand up for everybody, like I do. And she is a big boobed addict. She even in one of the episodes, she has a dream of being with one of the girls, forget her name, that does have basically big breasts, and that kind of becomes the whole. That kind of becomes something that becomes her character. And again, like I said, the lesbian tendencies between most of these girls, especially in the first like 6 episodes, is very apparent compared to the other last 6 episodes. And like I said, this is a very character-driven anime, which, similar to Cowboy Bebop, makes it a little bit more refreshing. But what's great about this, in some regards, is that in a sense, you don't have to see every episode to get used to every character because technically the anime reintroduces every character that you've met basically since the first episode. But for some viewers out there that are watching this thinking, yeah, I could jump in at every episode, trust me when I say it's better if you start with the first episode and then go down through it because it even gets better. And like I said, the ending isn't rushed. It feels like an actual ending. The girls are going out there and defending their lives against this alien threat every single day, which I think is kind of the animators going that, yeah, we had the Nazis at the time, which were technically like alien invaders, so to speak. Like no one saw it coming, how they just invaded, like Normandy, Poland, how they just took over everything. And then the unfortunate circumstances that happened with Jewish people at the time too, with the Holocaust. It just almost like an alien invasion has happened on, humanity, which is great. And then also when the Pearl Harbor bombing happened and also the Hiroshima bombing happening. It's just a big, wide circumstance that almost like it basically is history, but in this own unique way. Because yeah, there had been points of history where it almost seems like an invasion happened, and then it feels almost like out of this world, kind of like an invasion. War is an unforeseen circumstance, and this anime really does hit home of why war is dangerous and everything, and why war can be devastating. And in itself, it does get to that, but towards the last two episodes, it really begins to show you the toll of what war can do to a person, which becomes even better for this anime. And I know for some people that they're probably upset that I'm not getting into the individual characters, but like I said, there's a lot of them to get through. But before I get to my favorite episodes and kind of break them down for you guys to kind of get you even more interested, the last six episodes are just so amazing within themselves. Yes, there are a couple of goofy episodes, like one where a bunch of girls' panties are suddenly stolen. There's not really a huge plot point to this episode. But every episode is just so great. Everyone is different. And sometimes some of them are, yeah, boring, but then it pulls you back in by introducing something even more awesome. And some of the episodes go into some weird, fucked up, what the shit territory is happening in this anime, but it gets even better. And that's the weirdest thing that ends up happening towards the last six episodes, because for the most part, it's just an anime of superpowered teenage girl wishes. There's almost a point in the anime where it almost becomes motherfucking Macross. Fuck, not kidding. Because the United States joined in the war with a giant flying robot jet creature thing. It's really weird. But while the final episode in one regard is not the best that I have seen, it still holds up as a pretty damn good final episode that really sums up the entire season. And with these awesome, great written characters that this anime brings to the table, that's not hard to see why that the final episode would be a great way to say goodbye to these classic characters. Strike Wishes is a unique anime series that basically did come out in a very weird time. I'm not sure when it came out exactly. I'll see if I can find it on the back of the DVD here somewhere. I cannot. Anywhere. I don't see. I should have done my research, but I don't see. Oh, 2007. A very weird time for it to be coming out. Truthfully, and even if I'd seen this or tried to watch this in 2007 when I was only 12 years old, or basically 11 to 12 years old, my mother would have probably beat me for watching an anime like this, even though there's only like two or three episodes that deal with nudity. I've noticed not every episode deals with nudity, and the only nudity that they do is basically the chest above nudity, not really the whole shit kabang they go down in the episodes. Only except in one exception of an episode, I believe. But Strike Wishes is a pretty unique anime that has to do with the time period of 1944. And if you're into World War history, or even just history like I am, check this anime out. It's pretty damn decent, and it is worth it. Sure, not every episode will be great, mind you. Some of them might bore you or go on for too long. But you might still find something to enjoy with this. Although I have a feeling that most people watching this will probably just check it out because I said that there are some episodes that have to deal with naked teenage sexy girl witches. For shame on those people. But then again, I was the one who bought this, so for shame on me too. So let's talk about my favorite episodes that end up happening in this. Mostly, if you're wondering what the story is in this, it's just that a group of witches end up joining the army and end up becoming a secret army kind of like warriors that is known as strike witches that use secret jet-powered leggings to fly into the air and use their magical abilities. Also with guns, because guns are cool. So let's talk about my favorite episodes, and there is not a whole lot to go through, but I'll try to break these episodes down as quickly as I can. So let's talk about and cover my top, I think like 5 or 6. I think 5. Let's just talk about my 5 favorite episodes in no category or certain order, starting with. Let's begin with episode 3, You Are Not Alone. This episode mostly had to do with Leroy joining the army, or basically just joining the army in general since it's her 3rd day, and sorry for the slight drop of the camera. And she began to realize that maybe the army isn't cut out for her. Maybe the army's not cut out for a lot of the young ones that are joining this cause, which is something noble about World War II with a bunch of the younger soldiers. But through trust and friendship and a bunch of other weird shit, because this is anime, they end up pulling it together and end up joining the army and being the best soldiers they can be. Episode 5, Big, Fat, Soft. This episode is mostly known for getting into the main characters and having us know that our main character is a lesbian, but also a lover of big boobies. But also highlighting one of the girls that used to be a flight plane pilot until joining the war, and then she turned up turning into a fighter pilot. She becomes a very interesting character by going through these things, and it had me feel like maybe she was a test pilot for Howard Hughes and ended up joining the military for thinking that she could do better things. But then the anime takes a turn for the better and becomes an episode all about a day at the pool. Because it's an anime and we can do that. But it's also an episode that can show you the dangers of technology and as well as the dangers of war, which honestly makes it a better episode in my book and in my category. Also, this episode has one of the best endings that I can ever think of, and a happy ending that one for like a person like me could only wish for. Episode 8, I Won't Forget You. A polite Marine boy ends up meeting our main character, Maori, and telling her that, hey, I like you, don't you think that we should be a couple even though that's illegal? Which brings up PTSD flashbacks and one of the soldiers that ends up fighting alongside of the other strike witches, because she ended up having a husband who died during an invasion. This is a powerful and emotional episode, but it becomes so much better and greater for it for getting across a powerful character introduction. It's such a great episode. It's a dark episode, yes, and unfortunate, but it gets even better by giving us a great character and a greatly written one at that. Episode 10, I Want You to Believe. Again with an emotional episode, in this one, the captain ends up getting injured. Despite of everything that happened, unfortunately due to cause of war, she was injured. Was everyone wondering the same question? Will she pull through? Will she survive? Are the strike witches a thing? And also, who is to blame for this unfortunate tragedy? Again, it's a very emotional powerhouse episode, but still well worth it for how great that the voice actors handled this and how great that the story was written for this episode. All things considered, it's worth taking a look at if you're a bit interested. Although if you're not, I don't know, probably stay away from this episode then, I suppose. Which leads me into episode 12, or the final episode of the series, Strike Witches. Like I said, it's kind of not really the best written episode, but still a highlight episode still to check out. As all the witches come back and combine themselves for one final fight for the war and for the war effort to really give them a win for everyone. Yeah, it's kind of a strange season finale or series finale, but still, for what it's worth, still held up as a pretty terrific episode worth checking out at least once. As I said though, Strike Witches may not be for everybody, but it is a pretty damn good series worth checking out. It does have to deal with magical witches and also World War history that combines it in, which I know that there's a lot of friends of mine that like magical girl animes, but I did say that the girls in a few episodes, not all of them, maybe 2 or 3 episodes, are basically, yes, naked, unfortunately. Not full out blown, but mostly, for the most part, they're mostly kind of focused on the ass, but mostly the boobs of the series. So, just trying to warn people in case they are picking this up. And also in case some people are like, my kid would like this, I would like to refer to you that on the back of the DVD, it said TV maturity. so no children should be watching this. So whether you like magical girl anime like Sailor Moon or even Card Captor Sakura, you might be interested in checking this one out. If you're a World War II history fanatic like I am, then it is worth checking out. Or if you're into some weird obscure animes, or if you like something new to check out Strike Witches. It's pretty damn good. Unfortunately, it is short, but with both DVDs, uh, it is worth over 300 minutes of entertainment. You might get some entertainment value out of this. Although I highly recommend for some people, maybe not all otaku, but if people are looking for something new to check out, you should give yourself a fly to the sky with some magical schoolgirls and check out Strike Witches. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me at Twitter with the link in the description down below. I've been Lady Universe. I want your nudie. Keep geeking on. And do yourself a favor and check out some Strike Witches if you can. Pretty damn good and interesting, uh, an interesting anime series. I'm just wondering how YouTube is gonna react to this video. Well, considering I didn't really show full-blown nudity, I probably should be fine. But if this video ends up being age restricted for people, then I apologize in advance. It's not my fault, it's YouTube, so apologies in advance. Although, damn it, if that does happen. But also, if you want me to review an anime series that you like, that you think that I would like, let me know in the comment section down below. But I believe the universe, I want nudie, keep eating on, and until next time, guys, take care.